These, of course, you'll recognize, one of these you'll recognize as your book. And remember, you have the online code for these books. Okay, I'm just going to kind of walk you through what may be a typical day, just so you get used to seeing the things that you will see every day. So, of course, you enter here. This is the beautiful entrance to our school. And you'll see over on the right, the lobby. And I just want to point out a few things. Okay, when you come in the morning, this is where you go. You go right to the lobby. There'll be a teacher there in case you need any help, but there'll always be a teacher there. Kids come in and just wait until homeroom starts. Either homeroom, go right to your classroom where your homeroom is, or you're going to go into EdPack, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Administration wing, and if you come in late or you go to the administration office, this is where you're going to go. You're going to go into this entrance right here. Mrs. Spencer is going to be right here where the desk is that you see there, and then over down this hallway are various offices. So you'll get used to that, and again, it's really going to be pretty easy as you go through the year. Okay, you probably want to know who's who, so if you go into the administrative wing, you will see Miss Regan, your principal. You'll see Mrs. Cant, assistant principal, and you'll see Mr. Mayer, guidance director. So Mr. Mayer will be involved with your schedules, with your classes you're taking, and you can see Mr. Mayer anytime. Mrs. Cant will be involved with day-to-day routine for the kids, so you'll see Mrs. Cant a lot too. So morning prayer is either going to be in EdPack, which stands for Eleanor Dempsey Performing Arts Center, called EdPack, and you see here, this is the entrance, so you're going to go in there and you'll see the beautiful EdPack Theater. Those of you not familiar with that, once you see it, you'll be very, very impressed. It's a beautiful facility. So you're going to go into EdPack, and 3 days a week there will be prayer in there. So come on in. So you walk down the hall and you see room 636, one of the classrooms, and very close to the entrance of the school actually, so you don't have to go too far. In world languages, and a little note here, this was taken on day when we were setting up the classroom, so not quite finished there. Okay, your language classroom. So this is the classroom where you will be. Desks are arranged this way. They may change a little bit. For the most part, they'll be this way. And the reason they're separated is because I will walk around a lot. You will come in with your laptops. You'll be using your laptops every day. And so this lets me get around and help where necessary. Okay, hablamos español and nous parlons français. So you see two posters here. French students, you'll recognize the blue, white, red one on the left. That's the French students. And hablamos español, that's our Spanish banner. And what's listed here, all the countries where French is spoken, all the countries where Spanish is spoken. Okay, I'm going to explain how things are set up here because I want you to be familiar with the classroom, and I want you to be comfortable using the things that are available for students. So, what if I need? What if I need, oh, say, a stapler or paper punch or dry erase markers or dry erase boards? So here I'm going to show you where everything's going to be. This is on the far wall, so when you come in, of course you're not going to need an Eiffel Tower, but that's the Eiffel Tower. And paper punch, you see some paper punches there, dry erase boards, dry erase board erasers. Here are the markers for the dry erase, and we will be using these from time to time just for practice and some activities. There are some pencils here. There will be some sticky notes. Pencils are in here. These are colored pencils, sticky notes, so forth. There will be staplers over here, and I think they're over on this table, but you'll see. So anything you need, please feel free to use these things. Do not get up during class. You can get a pencil before class starts. You can punch a hole in papers if you want to do that before class, but you will not be getting up to get a pencil during class we will be getting up to get some dry erase boards and practice. So I'll explain everything again when you come in. All right, and here's another picture of that same thing: rulers, markers, sticky notes, and so forth. There's some staplers in here, some paper clips in here. So really anything you need, just feel free to take what you need. You'll see the flags of Spanish-speaking countries here. Here is another Mayan temple, and this was done by another student. Fantastic job this student did. Also completely in wood. Every single detail was cut out. It's really a great job. All right, these are our blackout curtains for when we're using the screen and sun is a little too bright. Okay, all right, whoops, there I am on the screen. That's me, Miss McKenna, and these are my teacher tools. You'll see me with my laptop, the projector, speakers, and so forth. So this is up in the front of the room. Okay, so what if you need to plug in the computer? All right, this is going to happen very often if the battery wears down, if it's not charged, so forth. There are plenty of ways you can plug in your computer. There are outlets around the room, none in the middle of the room, unfortunately. So we do have extension cords for the computers. Feel free to use any of these. These will be coming down. This one comes down from the front of the room, so you'll be able to reach that. This one is over on the side, near the sideboard. There's an extension cord there. There's a 4-outlet unit right over on the right here. This one is coming from the back of the room. So in other words, there are plenty of places to plug in. You never have to ask if you can plug in. Simply get up right away, plug in if you see that you're going to lose power. All right, so what if you need more information about what you see around the room? Okay, there will be QR codes around the room. And this we do just for enrichment. We do it for just some fun activities. And if you're not familiar with QR codes, this is what they look like. So while this is still on this screen, take your smartphone out and scan both of those. You might see a message from Miss McKenna. You might see some information about France. You might see some information about computers. You might see information about Spain and so forth. So you will see these around the room, and then we'll have a day or a couple days where we can bring smartphones in. We can scan these and gather all sorts of information. So instead of just looking at a poster, we try to bring these alive. If we, I do have a poster on the ballet folklorico, for example. So instead of just seeing these dancers, we can go right to a YouTube video on a smartphone and simply pull that up and watch them actually dance rather than simply look at it on a poster. So those are QR codes. If you're not familiar with them, they can be used for anything. And again, we'll be using them. You can scan a website, a message, a voice message, a text message, a just plain text message. You can scan all sorts of things with QR codes. So we will be using those. And again, you can't have your phones, smartphones, or otherwise during class time or with you during the day. They have to go to your locker. However, there will be days when I will say you can bring those in, and we'll have fun just scanning and kind of taking virtual trips. All right, just want to show you a few things that some of my students have done. Very proud of these projects that they have done. Over here we see a mural of Paris done by one of my French 3 students. The Eiffel Tower, some cafes, and some bookstores and so forth. All right, the Louvre, here's an example of a QR code right here. So we see the poster of the Louvre, but this QR code will take us right to a virtual tour of the Louvre. That's kind of fun. Here we have Notre Dame, we have some street signs, we have the Eiffel Tower. Over here we have some, these are actually what street signs look like in Paris. These are piñatas that students have done. Really great job that many students have done.